About John Bogle of Vanguard. So Vanguard is a big asset management company. It's a top asset management company in the world, and we're going to discuss about John Bogle of Vanguard and his professional background, educational details, the challenges that he faced in his career, and how his professional career was, and what are the top things that he has done in his career, and how he made the Vanguard to become the top ETF and mutual funds company in the world, and how he has played a role in bringing ETFs popularity and formation. Okay. So John Bogle was born in 1929 in Montclair, New Jersey. He was a great grandson of an insurance pioneer. He attended Blair Academy on scholarship, and he excelled in mathematics. So he graduated magna cum laude in economics from Princeton University, and where his 133-page senior thesis on investment companies launched his career. Okay. So, professionally, he joined Wellington Management, becoming chairman, and was fired in 1974 after a merger he championed underperformed. Okay, so he fired means he was taken from the chairman position and put as a fund manager position. So that's what happened. He actually acquired a company, merged a company into Wellington Management. That company didn't perform properly, and that's the reason. And those company, he gave them a good stake in the company, and those uh, new company leadership basically sidelined him, taking over the ownership of Wellington Management. So what he did after that is, he immediately pushed for mutual ownership structure, and where basically fund investors own Vanguard, aligning the firm with clients' interests. So typically, AMC or any fund operates in two ways. One is the fund itself, and there will be a fund manager, and then there is a management company which manages this fund. And these are two distinct entities. Okay, management company and fund itself. Okay, the fund will have a fund manager, and the management company will be managing this fund. So when he was removed from chairman position and was given the head of just managing the fund itself, then he started looking into the real benefit that management company brings to the fund, and he has started pushing for this mutual ownership structure where fund investors own Vanguard, aligning with client interests. And he was initially skeptical about ETFs, these passive investment funds, where there be no fund manager and no management fees, nothing. You just buy the stocks which are there in the index and let it run, and it will generate the returns. So basically, no very low cost fund it is, and typically removing the entire management uh, team itself, which manages the fund. And initially, he launched this first index investment trust, which is now famous and is known as Vanguard 500 Index Fund. In 1976, he has launched it. He was derided initially that it is totally un-American, and but it became foundational to low-cost investing, or the ETF revolution that began after that. So his significant achievements and how he enabled Vanguard's rise is he pioneered this no-load, low-expense mutual funds. Okay, because these are index tracking managed funds, or exchange traded funds. They don't need any expense in terms of management of the fund, or no load is there. So he pioneered this concept of no load, low expense mutual funds. Then the entire industry got pressurized to reduce the fees, which is called the Vanguard effect. He introduced the this is his main achievement. Not only pioneering no load, low expense mutual funds, he was the person who introduced this retail ETFs in 2001. ETFs are exchange traded funds, and uh, these have become popular once one Vanguard has introduced them. and it's a major competition to all the fund manager, basically fund manager managing the funds. And this is ETFs are basically there's no manager managing it. It's exchange traded fund, and it's linked to a particular exchange, and how the exchange performs it basically adjusts its performance accordingly. So this includes VTI, which is a mirror broad market-based index fund. So this ETF VTI is a mirror broad market index fund, and this has made Vanguard to become a leader in the ETF space, and also a low expense in the mutual fund industry. By 2025, Vanguard grew to 10.4 trillion assets under management, and it is the largest mutual fund provider and number two in ETFs globally. Okay, so that's what his contribution is to the industry, especially the ETF industry, and making Vanguard as a top company in US. Challenges and resilience is he was fired from his own company, means from the company where he was the chairman due to a failed merger. He endured those early dismissals. He had health crisis also. He suffered multiple heart attacks. He lived one through heart transplant also, and yeah, and the industry initially mocked him for bringing these index funds and low load mutual funds. There was a lot of pushback and risk he has to face, and but eventually slow adoption of index funds has happened because of his persistence. He was also eventually vindicated also as indexing became mainstream. He navigated later tensions over Vanguard's diversification into ETFs and advisory services, and he always remained a critic of high costs. So his philosophy is, index funds perform better than a fund which is managed by a professional fund manager. That's what his view is. Okay. And he always advocated low cost investing, broad diversification, long holding periods, and he is a criticizer of active management and high fees, basically. He authored some books called Common Sense on Mutual Funds, which influences investors worldwide. He inspired the Bogleheads movement for passive investing, and is named, the giant of the 20th century. He was initially skeptical of ETFs, but he introduced this broad market ETFs in 2001, which has ultra low ETFs, and it democratized access to passive investing and brought a ETF market revolution. So that's the summary of John Bogle, who is the Vanguard founder, and his major innovations are index fund and no-loaded funds and ETFs. And he survived six heart attacks, heart transplant also. So that's it for today, guys. Thanks everyone. Have a nice day.